and I tend to use PRP more for hair growth. PRF, or platelet-rich fibrin, is basically a concentrate of your blood that is composed of platelets, fibrin, and white blood cells. These are all superheroes when it comes to tissue regeneration and healing. I would label PRF as a biostimulatory filler, but it's so much more natural, so I think I like to call it a natural filler versus a biostimulatory filler because I don't want to confuse PRF from other types of fillers. PRF was originally described in dental journals where they used the fibrin PRF clot for improved tissue regeneration during their dental procedures. It then started to become implemented within cosmetic and regenerative medicine. I have been using it, like I said, for the last year and a half and have been really impressed with the results. How does PRF actually work? In order to understand how it works, we first need to understand what role platelets play in our body. So when we first cut the skin, meaning when you first get an injury, the platelets are the first cells that get recruited to the site of injury. They help to form a blood clot so that you don't keep on bleeding. Platelets also contain a bunch of growth factors. Once platelets arrive to their destination, which is the site of injury, they then release a ton of growth factors, which then promote blood vessel formation, healing, collagen generation, etc. So the growth factors that platelets contain could be studied for lifetimes. But the main growth factors that we want when it comes to tissue regeneration is VEGF, which is vascular endothelial growth factor, TGF-beta, PDGF, which is platelet-derived growth factor, fibroblast growth factor. All of these are useful when it comes to collagen regeneration, as well as elastin regeneration. PRF also contains fibrin, which is a protein that creates like a mesh or a scaffolding to stabilize the clot. When we create a scaffold, it allows for tissue regeneration to happen at the area where there's a scaffold. So that's why not only are platelets important in the PRF, the fibrin is also important because we want to have tissue regeneration in a localized area, not all over. The last thing PRF contains is white blood cells, and white blood cells are helpful not only to fight against infection, but they also eat up all the bad tissue and they boost the healing process. So PRF takes all of these three different elements, combines it into a gel, and when we inject this gel, we can cause localized tissue regeneration exactly where we want it. It's like delivering a package of tissue renewal right at your skin's doorstep, and I think that whole concept is just so freaking cool. So if you are as enthralled by it as I am, please comment below and let me know your thoughts on natural filler. Would you use it? Are you interested in using it? Let me know your thoughts and comment below. So how do we get PRF from your blood? Well, we first start by drawing some blood into tubes, and this is very similar to how you would get a normal blood test. I draw your blood. That blood in tubes is put into a centrifuge machine and spun at very high rates. The centrifugation process then separates the red blood cells from the platelet-rich fibrin. So the red blood cells settle at the bottom and the platelet-rich fibrin is at the top. I then very carefully and gently extract out the PRF into syringes, and I will inject the PRF usually under your eyes to fill those tear trough or the hollows. Taking PRF a few steps further, we can actually create something called Easy Gel. Easy Gel and PRF, while they are similar, Easy Gel is a little bit different, and it's different in the way we produce the Easy Gel. So the name actually comes from the company that came up with the process to make the Easy Gel. So PRF just by itself, that is what I inject under the eyes. It is a little bit more liquefied, and as we inject it, it becomes more gel-like. Easy Gel, though, has a consistency more similar to filler, and therefore we can inject it into thicker areas of the skin, not only giving it a plumping effect, but also causing tissue regeneration. The way we make Easy Gel is, I already talked about how I made PRF. I then take a second tube of your blood and I spin that down even faster than we spun the PRF. Spinning the blood at higher rates makes the red blood cells go at the bottom, and now at the top you have platelet poor plasma. This means that the plasma has very few platelets, but it contains a protein called albumin, and albumin is something that you naturally have in your body. When we extract this platelet poor plasma, which contains albumin, and we heat it and cool it, it now creates a very nice gel. To create Easy Gel, I now mix the albumin gel with the PRF, and it now allows the PRF to be in a gel-like consistency, which can be more easily injected into thicker layers of the skin, including areas like your nasolabial folds, your marionette line,